we are just 1 week away from the official release of Cybernetic Horizon. Basically this week, this will be dropping. But I want to talk about the implications of, well, the set in general, and just what we can be expecting in the metagame with the impact of Horizon just coming over the horizon. So let's dig on into this discussion, shall we? I still think Sci-Ho's are a really terrible set, but that doesn't change the fact that it will impact the metagame on some sort of scale. So first off, for those of you that don't really know, Cyber Dragon's got a good chunk of support in this set. I think it's really cool that we get the chance to honestly see Cyber Dragons. Now, the problem with this set is it feels like it was designed specifically for Cyber Dragons. Now, don't get me wrong, Cyber Dragons aren't inherently bad. I think they're pretty cool for what they do. Cyber Dragons now have a viable going second deck. I think there are at least 16 different ways to OTK your opponent in the OCG right now. I saw like one of those little flowcharts that were going around right now. But we have a going second OTK deck besides random shit like Gokis. I know there's a couple of other going second. Oh, Ancient Gears. You know, but the difference between those two decks and this one is this one's a lot more consistent than its predecessors. But if you're going to be playing competitive Yugioh, understand that Cyber Dragons are now a viable deck. So I would probably... they have access to Mega Fleet, which can break an extra link, which then can allow them to OTK you. It's kind of dumb, just what that deck actually can do now. Meritech has always kind of been a card that, for some reason, always has the ability to break something. I don't really understand it myself, why they've kind of just given Cyber Dragons that ability throughout time, but it's definitely there. So they have the ability to break an extra link. They can OTK you through Power Bond and all the other things. Their link monster is not too damn bad. Plus, I mean, Cyber End Dragon and stuff is pretty damn spicy. So remember, if you were playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And Cyber Dragons come out of left field to shit on your day, well, you know, we didn't really tell you so. So, in terms of just new decks being added to the fire, there is that. Now, in terms of the more casual side of the game, Crusadia's also joined the fray. Now, Crusadia, to me, is not that good. The whole climbing the link mechanic through their own cards is not a bad concept. But the way that they execute it for a lot of the theme, I've seen a few lists come across the OCG every once in a while that will look interesting. Whether or not it's like at a smaller locals, it's something like that. It's definitely, it has a chance to do something. But the what is it? The Crusadia that has the most viability in a lot of decks is honestly the water one. I believe you can just special summon her to any arrows it points to, or any monster points to. Yeah, Crusadia Aerobia. And special summon this card from your hand to in defense mode to a zone your link monster points to. And most people will use this as a means to climbing the link ladder. It's a level 3 warrior, so you get access, or you can use it with things like Invoker as like a core normal summon or something like that. So, I mean, the decks, the cards got a lot of extra like utility and things like that. I've seen a few Goki lists teching it every once in a while, but it is a level 3 warrior that does grant it the ability to special summon itself. So, I mean, what's wrong with that? We've seen our warrior support just be broken forever. And I will say it is really cool seeing the Crusadia come out. The art is fantastic on the monsters, but for the most part, do I think they're going to be super competitive? No, not really. But people are still going to make their attempt to play it. So there is that. Now, the new ritual support. Now, this isn't your standard like, oh no, demise, oh no, things like that. No, we're not going down that paradigm right now. We're going to talk about the demi rituals here. So, my friend Trent has planted this pre-seed in my head that this ritual support is really good in Blue Eyes Chaos Max. I believe your trade-off for said ritual support is that you cannot special summon from the extra deck. But for this trade-off, you now have access to slightly more consistent ritual support, which I think is cool. I don't think that this is also going to really touch the waters of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! But once again, for something else to exist in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I think this is fine. I think this is, you know, good step in the right direction. The Demi Ritual support was, but I just, it kind of falls short of what I was kind of hoping for. So there is that. It's definitely sitting in the realm of the community right now. Now the next big one is Danger. So I've had a few choice words about Danger. I think the Danger archetype is fantastic. The ability to, it has everything we could ever want. The ability to play the game on your opponent's turn. The ability for self-replacing effects, which is fucking great. Has draw power built in. You know, seems like these three things go together and you've got sugar, spice, and everything nice, and you can literally have the fucking Powerpuff Girls. I don't think this support, though, in the first set will be enough to spark it up. Now, there will be people playing it much like people were playing Burning Abyss in the first days. You guys can remember back in the first days when we just had, you know, Dante, Scarm, and stuff like that. You know, the first good wave of support. People would rise to the challenge and test out these variants and things like that. So I definitely think a lot of people are going to be getting their feet wet with the archetype just because of what it is. You know, the Danger archetype, being able to play the game on your opponent's turn through the trap card and discarding, you know, Bigfoot and stuff to destroy stuff, yeah, it's definitely got its applications. And did I mention it's chainable? Like, that's a lot more than I think a lot of people were honestly expecting from the archetype. You have to remember, these strategies that can play the game on your opponent's turn are a lot better than I think people want them to think they are, which is extremely awesome in the long run. So don't underestimate it yet. I think there's a lot of potential there, and I think a lot of people just haven't really explored it because of how expensive it is, but give it time. You know, it can only get better from here. Now, your other general impacting stuff in the set. Hayate. Sky Strikers became a lot more consistent with this set. I mean, God, Hayate fixed so many issues. I'm actually shocked how much she actually changed in the deck. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I was a little bit ignorant. I didn't think Hayate would fix that many problems, but she came across, and being able to go second with Sky Strikers is probably one of the more interesting things that the deck needed, and because we can now viably go second, we now have the ability to dump. Kagari can now climb the ladder. We can fix bad situations. I mean, attacking directly is not a bad thing whatsoever. I mean, having a way to ping for 15 while your opponent's got a board, I mean, seems oh so good to me. So Hayate fixed a lot of our problems. And then honestly, the real other last card I'm going to talk about right now for this set is our man Borel Sword. Borel Sword gave every single deck the ability to OTK. You've got this flash card that cannot be destroyed by battle. It can blink something to defense mode, and on top of things, you can basically attack your opponent for some sort of excess number of 6,000, depending on how it goes. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why Borel Sword is so expensive is because it's this OTK generator, and these cards that can generate OTKs are a lot better than I think you give them credit for. That's what you're paying for. You're paying for a card that can OTK your opponent. And I know the price tag on Borel Sword is super expensive, don't get me wrong. But it's worth it. Because if you're playing a deck that can climb links, yeah, you're going to need it to be able to OTK. So, honestly, those are the real big changes that are going to be noted. I will note Noble Knights here so that they're here. I don't think the Noble Knight support was great. I think it was 1% better than they've already had. The new Special Summon guy and the new League, or new Xyz monster are excellent. It's a good push in the right direction. Got to be patient for these things, honestly. I think give them time, and we could definitely push the deck over the boundary. I assume a few people are going to try the deck, give it time, watch them fail. But for the most part, Noble Knights will exist for a little bit until they fade out. It's honestly all I have to say about Horizon. I'm sure there are other things in here that people are going to be like, oh no, you didn't mention, like Mirror Force Launcher and stuff like that. I don't see any real point in mentioning this stuff, or like the new Cyber support. It's not on the level that I want it to be at. So, but think this video is accurate, think it's not, please leave a comment down below in the comment section. Tell me what you guys think, and I'm out, guys. Deucerinos. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel, and join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.